Hello. Greetings, everyone. Test. Test, test, test. Test 1, test 2, test 3. Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe. Welcome, everyone, to Speed. Oh. Testing my comm. Still a robot. Momentarily. Testing 1, test 2, test 3. This. Oh my gosh, very. Test. Let's give that a test. Hey, better, perhaps? Nope. I'm gonna talk and see if this fixed anything. 1 testing 2. How's everyone? How's everyone? What's up? What's got Hero versus a RaikouRider. Yuzuriha versus 4-bit Link. We have Desmous versus Arumna. Am I still skipping or does that? Hey, we got game sounds. Nice. I feel like the last thing, like the last word of everything I said. Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Do me a favor and have a conversation with the.
Sure. Let me go back to live because I was actually trying to rewatch my race. All right. So, what are we doing here? I'm waiting for a commercial to catch up on the race going on. How is everyone doing in chat? I'm going to mute my sound so I don't double up on what I'm hearing. J-Chalk is definitely out of logic right now. All right, so catch me up, guys and gals, and everyone in here. I know we have Varia. I know we have Wave. Oh, it looks like we have Plasma. So I see a Plasma. We're looking for that gravity suit. I know we're looking for that gravity suit, but that's all I really know right now. Jay might be able to talk. Who knows?
Test.
I can hear you.
Let me see how I sound about. Nope, man.
It's definitely you because you keep like clipping out.
Okay, I'm gonna work on.
All right, high jump boots over in Mission Impossible. By the way, my name is Sinith. If you all did not know, I am a mini commentator. I commentate every now and again on this channel. I have been called the voice of SRA recently, which I do not agree with, but you know. We're 9 minutes in, we're doing the mock ballroom, seeing what's in here, doing some parlor, some missiles. Some power bombs under the bridge. I would grab those. 10 power bombs, I would know from my last race, is not enough. I would want 15. Especially if you're planning on not getting ice. Because not having ice in Torian, you want 15. You can do it with 10. It's not fun. You can do it though. Des already has 15 power bombs. Gonna skip these, go to Mission Impossible, grab the high jump boots. We got Kraid going on over at Raikou's screen. That's the lower left-hand corner. Let's go cheer on Raikou. We're getting a prom Kraid DLC kill. We all saw this in the last race. It's happened more and more often. But we always like seeing a good Kraid DLC. Des is trying to get the wavegate glitch. Actually, they have wave, so they even need to do the wavegate glitch. This is in logic. I think Jay's back in here trying to test the microphone. What does Green Hill Zone have for us? Just some missiles, nothing big. Power bombs over at the Eddie Coon's room. Doing a little bit of a reverse meme check over on Irumus. $64-bit Link checking the Spore Spawn, getting an E-Tank. Eru, go open that door. Unless you're going reversing right now. Please go open that door before you leave this area. Nice. Nice. All right, we're gonna go down to Upper North Fair, go check the high jump boot area, see what these 3 items hold for us on Raikou's screen. Based on where the runners are right now, I would say Raikou is definitely in the lead.
Test.
Test.
Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, the question is, can chat hear me okay?
I mean, you're louder for me. nothing, something.
Kind of like you took a sip of a drink.
Oh, oh.
Oh, I hear us. Let's go.
There we go.
Poggers.
All right. Well, I mean, if you would like me, I'm here. If not, I'm gonna go back to what I was doing.
Yeah, you can. Now that I've got my mic fixed, I am ready to boogie. Thank you so much, Senate, for helping out.
No problem.
Have a
Everyone
great
enjoy
night.
the stream. Enjoy the race. Good luck to the racers. Go follow each of these guys. Go give them a huge shout out in their channel. Give them lots of emotes, lots of hearts.
Yes, indeed. All right. Big shout outs to Redemption. Thank you so much. That was, technology is awful, as you can tell. I couldn't get my mic working, but hey, we're here. By the way, I'm J-Chalk. Thank you so much for hanging out. Looks like, 20 minutes in and we've got a lot to talk about. So we've got gravity, we've got Varia, we've got wave, we've got plasma, we've got screw attack. We've got all of these incredible items, especially for Lower Norfair. As you can see, Hero already making their way into Lower Norfair. We got high jump. We've got the whole shebang, and that's exciting because we're going to be able to make our way through the rest of this game, just needing either, let's see, we're at 20-30 on Hero's side, so we're going to need about, or is that 40? It looks like 30. We're going to need a lot more supers unless we find ice, but even then, we're gonna need a lot more ammo. Unless we find charge beam, of course. And we have Desmous also making their way into the Lower Norfair section. Arumna's making some checks in the Upper Norfair ice location. 64-bit Link's going to be running into their gravity suit soon. Yuzuriha going down, it looks like, into the blue Brinstar area. Meanwhile, Raikou's actually made a play on Crocomire. Could be kind of interesting. Potentially could see a charge beam down here, which could definitely turn the tide between Hero and Raikou. Looks like they're going to take a save here to do a little save scum. This is going to allow them to check the items down there at Kraid, and then they're going to be able to reset and not waste the time coming back up. Meanwhile, Hero is going to be making their way down into the depths of Lower Norfair. And Arumnas is going to be making their way out of ice. So right now it's looking like Hero, unless, it depends on what Raikou finds. If Raikou finds ice and charge down here, that'd be pretty big. But right now, Hero has a pretty good lead. 64-bit Link and Yuzuriha are pretty much vibing right now. 64-bit Link has a slight lead, but not too much. And then Arumnas is getting ready to make their dip into Bubble Mountain, and will decide whether or not they want to go down to Lower Norfair, or if they want to clear out a little bit of Bubble Mountain. Hero making their way into Wasteland. These Duskigas have already taken 1 life today. Shout outs to Sineth. Sorry about that. Duskigas do not mess around. And that's a reserve tank. And now Desmous is in the worst room of the game. It's our second attempt here at this. We're going to take out these pirates with some supers and then lay a power bomb to break the top here. Meanwhile, Link is going to be taking Kraid to prom. Raikou not really finding much down here at Croc. I didn't actually see what they found at the sign missiles there. And Arumnas, meanwhile, going to be making the play to clear out the rest of Bubble Mountain. 64-bit Link still having a go here at Kraid, and that should do it. Very nicely done. Hero's going to have to farm up to about 30 supers here. And we get we got a Mickey Mouse check. Shout out to SMRAT. Just a missile pack at Kraid. Also Yuzuriha coming in. So this is not a bad race right now between 64-bit Link and Yuzuriha. Meanwhile, Raikou coming out of Crocomire's lair and is going to make the decision. It looks like they don't have high jump boots. Where was high jump boots, chat? because that could definitely be an issue moving forward here. And Strat Hopper Room, very interesting. Did Raikou skip that? Desmous is going to check Firefly. We have our next Kraid upcoming. Link looked like they forgot to check the waste or the warehouse missiles there, and then turn right around. Arumnus, meanwhile, is going to be checking our first check at Wave Beam, and we have another Kraid Prom. And Hero's just going to YOLO right in with 30. Should be okay. If they miss a super, it's going to be 6 missiles to, oh my goodness, 6 missiles to make up for a missed super, because supers do double damage. And so therefore, it's 3 missiles per super. And since the supers do double damage, you need 6 missiles to equal 1 regular super. All right, here we go. Arumnus is going to get that wave check. This could be nice. Could be charge. Could be ice. And it's just a missile pack. So our runners, all 6 of our runners are going to be stuck. I mean, we're only at 30 supers across the board here. We're going to have to pick up a significant amount of supers here in the coming moments. But, of course, there's a 4.6% chance, anywhere from 4.6 to 5.8% chance for Charge Beam to be behind Ridley, as we like to call it the Ridley Beam here at SMRAT. Unfortunately, not the case. And just a reserve tank. Raikou is going to make our first dip into Meridia. This is a play that none of the other runners have elected to do. 64-bit Link picking up their Gravity Suit for the first time. Yuzuriha will be making their way to pick up Gravity Suit, and we have Arumnus with both suits clearing out Bubble Mountain, and Desmous making their way through the Pirate Room. So only one of the runners to elect to go into Meridia. Raikou actually having a very interesting route. Only one of the runners to check Brockamire. Only one of the runners to go into Meridia, as Hero, their opponent, is making their way out after taking out Ridley. And by the way, just for the record, this is Hero 82 versus RaikouRider, 64-bit Link versus Yuzuriha, and Arumnus versus Desmous. Ooh, very nice gravity jump by Raikou again. A lot of this tech, definitely Raikou has a lot of experience with SMZ3. So a lot of this tech is useful in SMZ3 as well. So they're going to be able to utilize the tech that they know from SMZ3 and SMRAT as well. What's really nice about the plasma beam, you see Hero doing this. He's actually shooting as he walks through the enemies and using those iframes to kind of vaporize right through the enemy without taking damage. It's super nice. All right, so that was a full Bubble Mountain clear and nothing, which tells me that we might see an Ice Beam or a Charge Beam somewhere in Meridia, which potentially, or in Wreck Ship, of course. We still have all of Wreck Ship, so either way, our runners are going to have to think about that moving forward. The ammo, the lack of ammo that they have, but looks like Hero's going to pick this up to be about 30, which is a good number to be at. If you want to get some good hits on the glass. Looks like, ooh, is Arumnus also going to make a play for Croc? And it looks like they are. So we know that there's nothing good down here, but Arumnus making the play. Not a bad play in their situation. And our final runner to pick up Gravity Suit. There it is. All 6 runners now officially have Gravity and Varia and Plasma, and apparently Raikou skipped high jump boots. Again, I was messing with some mic issues, so didn't quite see what was going on Raikou's side to have skipped high jump boots. Could very well be the determining factor on why they didn't go down to Lower Norfair, because, you know, the lack of items, the lack of acquisition of that high jump boot's going to allow you to get up Rit G. But okay, hey, this could work out, you know. Charge Beam, Ice Beam could be right in Raikou's path, as Hero is going to be clearing out what we know holds nothing, at least from an Ice Charge perspective. But definitely going to be picking up these supers here. So in the end, not a bad play. So right now, in the lead, we have Hero out of all 6 runners. Next would definitely be Desmous. Following that, I would probably put, that's a tough one. I think Arumnus would be third, 64-bit Link in fourth, Yuzuriha in fifth, and Raikou, depending on how this goes, I guess from a check perspective, he's kind of teetering between fourth and third there, but the first, second, and third is pretty clear right now. First and second is pretty clear right now between Hero and Desmous for sure. Ooh, Desmous, I think that should be good. Yes, all right. So, second Ridley, down for the count. And Arumnus going to be checking Croc PBs as 64-bit Link is making their way out of Speed Booster. Sees that super pack and is immediately like, yes. So Hero, ooh, very nice. Raikou, if I'm not mistaken, just picked up Speed Booster in the left sandpit. Now this, it's very good. It's unclear if it will make up for that full clear of Croc. Hero might elect this point, depending on what they find and where they find it, might have to end up checking that pit anyways for ammo, charge, or ice to ensure that they have enough to finish the seed, so they might run into speed anyway. But right now, it's definitely a nice item for Raikou to have to make up some time here. Unfortunately, it's not going to let them get through Rit G, but it is a nice item to have nonetheless. And Arumnus, rather, doing a moonfall down to the grapple location. Desmous making their way out of Wasteland, the second runner to have killed Ridley, and having a pretty good race here. Desmous and Hero, at least Desmous is a 3-timer in SMRAT. We have RaikouRider, I believe this is their first attempt. 64-bit Link, also a 3-timer in SMRAT, and then we have Hero, Arumnus, and Yuzuriha, all first-timer. So, but as we all know, Hero, an absolute staple in the community, both in low percent, RBO, and any percent. An absolute fantastic in their space jumper. We already saw that, didn't we? At least on Arumnus' side. Yes, so Arumnus has space jump. So we've seen that already because Arumnus did a full clear of Bubble Mountain. Okay, so Raikou finds an E-Tank at Mama Turtle. We have not seen this next check yet, so if this is ice or charge, that could be pretty big for... It's just a super pack, so that's unfortunate. So as we stand right now, without ice or charge, our runners are going to want to find, if they don't want to have to refill at any point, they're going to want about 85 supers and 20 missiles, or 80 supers and 35 missiles. So again, we're barely halfway to those numbers, so we're gonna want to find. We're definitely gonna want to find something to negate that. The moment we pick up beam, it drops our super count to a 70 missile to 20, 65 supers or 40 missiles, and of course, if we have both charge and ice, we have both 25-20 or 20-40. And that also doesn't account for anyone being able to speed zep skip. The speed zep skip is going to basically, in effect, work as if you had the ice beam, which is then going to drop you down to having to need 65 supers and 40 missiles or 70 supers and 20 missiles. So again, no matter how you look at it, we're still in a very sticky situation with our ammo, and 64-bit Link is going to do a really interesting check that neither Desmous nor Hero made. And so with the limited amount of checks we have left, this could very well pay off for Link. Just a missile pack. But Hero's also going to be making a play for Crocomire. So that is going to make things very interesting. Oh, was that a super pack? I didn't. Oh, wait. What was it? What was that? Oh, okay. See, now that's big time because GT missile requires space jump. And so 64-bit Link, having save scummed here like an absolute G, is going to go down and pick up that ice beam. Now listen, that could be huge because no Hero and Desmous, without a shadow of a doubt, will not find that ice beam. They just won't. There's no way they will go back down there and check that. Now, the question is, where is Charge Beam? Charge Beam could be at Shack Tool for all we know. Charge Beam could be at Climb Supers. They might be forced to pick up an incredible amount of ammo in order to ensure that they can complete the seed. Meanwhile, Link, with this ice pickup, unfortunately still has to pick up some ammo, but not as much as our other runners. Now, again, we're not accounting for speed zep skip, which I know Hero can do. Desmous might be able to do it, but I believe our other runners are unable to do this trick. So it really just comes down to that fact. But something also nice about finding Ice Beam, at least for 64-bit Link, is he's going to be able to ice clip. So he's not going to need to go find that speed booster. He's also not going to have to. He's also going to be able to move through Turian much quicker. Did we find a charge beam, Z-Light? If that's the case, don't remember seeing the charge beam, but hey, if it is indeed the charge beam, charge was in Meridia. Okay, so we do have the charge beam. Okay, perfect. And Beach is definitely one of those locations that I would say runners check more often than not. It's really, the item density is nice. 3 quick items. Not too many, not too long to check those 3 as well. And suits in general love to chill there. Like it's a big time hotspot for suits. And also, thank you Ayumiki for the compliment. Appreciate it. If you guys have any questions whatsoever about anything, do feel free to ask. I'll try my best to answer, as Hero is going to be completing the rest of Croc, which unfortunately we know holds nothing. So with this Croc check, that actually puts Raikou a little bit closer. If Hero would have skipped all this and rushed Meridia, it would have been a pretty unfortunate situation for Raikou. So it's still, from a routing perspective, it's going to be tough for Raikou from a routing perspective, just by the nature of the map going down up instead of mid down up, whereas Hero just went down and then is going straight up Meridia and then Fantoon and then done. So from a routing perspective, it's definitely in Hero's favor, but that speed booster, that can definitely, it can make a difference a little bit. Link picks up the Ice Beam, and they are farming some supers utilizing this little technique here, going through the door, laying a power bomb, and destroying these rippers, which they each drop a super, which is, quite super indeed. Meanwhile, we have Yuzuriha, who we haven't talked about much. So much is going on, but it looks like they're going to be heading out away from Lower Norfair, which tells me a few things. One, that they might not be comfortable with Lower Norfair with what they have, as well as they just might be wanting to just push Meridia, which we know logically. Where was Space Jump again? If anyone remembers exactly where that was, I felt like it was super close, or super early on. No, wait. Space Jump was Bubble Reserve, exactly. So, interesting call by Yuzuriha to skip that particular location. Again, now, these are all newer runners. Potential that they might not be able to do that jump, or that damage boost, or what have you. So, we won't make assumptions on that. We'll just call it as it is. Yuzuriha is not checking that as of now. Looks like they're going to go to Ice Beam, as Arumnus will be our first runner into Wreck Ship. And super at the pedestal. Meanwhile, 64-bit Link will be our third runner, and it looks like Desmous' stream just kind of went yeet. So we'll keep an eye on that. Gonna get some swag checks here from Arumnus. Again, we still have Raikou gonna be forced to pick up that wait, no, they went down, excuse me. But that is a dead Dragon for Raikou. I forgot that they had speed boosters, so they didn't have to go up through the boss with tank, which is nice. So Yuzuriha checking ice, which I believe we know is a... Ooh, their Desmous is back. Very nice. Oh, looks like they went down to Crocomire. So, wow, all of our runners, aside from maybe one, has checked Crocomire. Not bad. Looks like Hero's going to be making their first ascent into Meridia. Now, here's the question, right? Hero... unless they can suitless Crystal Flash Clip, which there's not very many people on this planet who can do this, and those who do it are exceptionally good at it. I don't think Hero is one of those people who's comfortable making that call. And it doesn't, from this, it doesn't quite look like that because they have plenty of power bombs if they were to make that play. Looks like they're going to make some checks here in Meridia first as Raikou's making their way through the Baby Dragon alley here. Yuzuriha going to be checking. I don't think we've actually checked this. If so, anyway, it's a missile pack. And we have an Elephant Ghost on the screen, top right, and a Ridley fight for Link. It'll be our third Ridley fight. So we'll see how this goes. Yeah, they need to be careful. Wait, how many supers did they go in with? Because I didn't quite catch, but I know that they pretty Monka-esque from what I can see. But again, you need 30 supers to take out Ridley, and for every missed super, you need to back that up with an additional 6 missiles. And you can also double hit Ridley, I believe, twice with power bombs. I think that equals either a super or a couple. I'm not sure. I know you can do some damage with power bombs. I try not to put myself in that position. Okay. There's Charge Beam. All right, so at the beach, right before the watering hole, that's huge. So what that basically does is for anyone who can do speed Zeb skip, that basically puts you in go mode. And Hero, as someone who I know who can do the speed Zeb skip, now that just depends, will they find that speed booster at the left sandpit? If they do, go mode. If they don't, they're going to be looking for some more ammo, but they're almost there. Huge. Okay, actually, I take back everything I said. Hero will surely not find the speed booster because there's bombs, and that almost guarantees he's going to Crystal Flash clip. There's still maybe an opportunity for on the way out of Dragon to go down a left sandpit, but with the route that Hero has to take in order to get to Fantoon, it's unlikely that Hero will go down one of the... Yep, there it is. Already setting up for the Crystal Flash clip. Can you say Pog? Can you say Pog prediction? Boy, let's go. Hero going to blow our minds right now with a Crystal Flash clip, and this could get interesting because Hero's not going to find that speed booster again because from a routing perspective, he's just going to go up, not down and then up. So I'm interested to see how that goes. As Aramis finishes off Fantoon is going to be, yeah, looks like they're going to be checking right supers. At least, oh, Desmous. Let me check the SRL chat here. Nope, nothing said. They were just kind of chilling like a villain. Well, there they are. Yuzuriha making their first attempt into Meridia here. Just a super pack at right side supers. That's vanilla. Hero got themselves down to below 50. Now, let me try to describe this trick for you, chat. I got you. J-Chalk got you. Under 50 health, at least 10 missiles, at least 10 supers, and at least 10 power bombs. What you're going to do is you're going to lay a bomb. At the apex of Samus's jump, you're going to lay a power bomb. When the power bomb's explosion ring reaches about halfway on the pillar, you're going to lay another bomb, and you're going to hold Crystal Flash inputs. And that looks perfect. Ooh, maybe a little early. Let's see. Hold on. Wait, okay, yeah. Not good. Oh. Maybe. Nope. You're going to hold your Crystal Flash inputs, and you're actually going to catch... That's way late. You're going to catch your Crystal Flash at the... once... Okay, that's good. No. Oh, that was almost perfect. That could be it. No! He's like within... That's... Yes! Yay! Hero gets the Crystal Flash clip. No! Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, no. Okay, chat, the absolute vibe killer forgets to hold down the absolute worst moment in any Crystal Flash Clipper's journey. Now, as someone who Crystal Flash clips a lot, that has actually happened to me in a race, and I don't normally rage on stream, but there's a good clip out there. I'm just like, I'm not happy because like that's just one of those things. It's just a mental thing. you have to hold down when you do the crystal flash clip. Otherwise, you're just gonna fall right through. So we're gonna see. Hopefully, Hero can get this off again. He got plenty of power bombs, so he should be able to pull this off again and hopefully hold down this time. But anyways, back on our other runners here. Arumna's making their way through the top of Raik's ship again. We already have ice. We already have charge. There's not a lot up here for Aru, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Raikou doing the checks that they skip. Now this is a typical play, I would say, for runners facing off against high-powered runners, and that is the basement skip. And Hero gets it on the second to last. Oh my goodness, goes for the tried to menu over and gets caught by the X-ray, but still manages to get through. Very nicely done by Hero there. Anyway, so as I was mentioning, a typical skip that runners will do if they want to maybe get an edge on a better runner, at least from a mechanical perspective, is they'll make this basement skip. It's 2 checks, 3 checks actually, sorry, but it's a super long process of checks. And so a lot of the times runners will elect to skip that in order to maybe kind of narrow the gap between mechanical differences. Hero sees that spazer and is going to immediately go up underneath the sand here and skip it. Meanwhile, Arunas is going to be checking the missiles in the sky. Gonna have to ride the little waiver dudes here. It's an E-tank and a super pack for Desmous, meanwhile. Yuzuriha is going to have her first check on the climb supers, as 64-bit Link's going to have their first go at Meridia. There's a lot of goodies here in Meridia. We've got the speed booster in the left sand pit. We've got the charge beam in the beach. So a lot of goodies, a lot of goodies to be had here. Precious missile check is a power bomb. Definitely not needed here for Hero. I will say that I think it's official, except maybe for Arumnas and Raikou and Yuzuriha. We still have yet to see them make their play into Lower Norfair, but the likelihood of any other runner finding ice is pretty low. That check for GT is pretty low percent if you think about it, given the logic, the parameters, the boundaries that the logic sets forth. Not a lot can be there. If you really think about it. And so charge and ice is generally the play you're making when you check GT or maybe even speed. But most of the time, not a lot going on there. So that was a really good play by Link. Is going to be able to utilize that ice beam. We get a nice microwave kill here by Hero. Very nicely done. And that means Hero is just a fan tune away. Meanwhile, Arunas taking the time to check bowling missiles. We didn't see what was at... Oh, grapple beam. Very interesting. We didn't see what was at the reserve location. Screw attack pickup for Desmous there. Yuzuriha taking a little bit of a refill as RaikouRider is clearing out all of this. Looks like maybe they went meme route, I'm assuming. Again, I was distracted by my mic issues, but I think that's exactly what happened here. Raikou skipping those initial checks and electing to check them on a second pass through. All right, 64-bit Link. Ooh, now wait a minute. Of course, 64-bit Link doesn't need to check anything else. 64-bit Link has ice. 64-bit Link has charge. 64-bit Link is in go mode, and the second one of our runners to reach go mode. That is exciting for Link. Is in a very good position right now. Has the ice beams, going to be able to ice clip to Bot's wound. Doesn't need to worry about crystal flash clipping. Doesn't need to worry about finding speed. They also will most likely not find speed. Hero will certainly not find speed, as I predicted before, as he is going up just as we thought he would. Because given the route, again, going to Fantune, it just makes more sense to go up through instead of down a sand pit. Unless he was missing an item, of course. If he was missing an item, yeah, sure, no problem. Go down through that pit. Take the extra maybe minute and a half plus or more. Go down through the pits to check those items. But he has what he needs and he's good to go. In go mode, checking on. Gonna go to Fantune, which is where Yuzuriha is heading, actually, and Desmous. So, chat, correct me if I'm wrong here. has, because Desmous doesn't have ice and doesn't have speed. Did Desmous do Dragon? I can't quite remember if Desmous did Dragon. I guess we'll find out if they have speed here. Negative. They did not do Dragon because they did not have speed, which tells me a couple things. One, they can't Crystal Flash Clip, either Suitless nor bombs. They certainly will not find ice to be able to ice clip. Unfortunate. And they, possible that they might go quite a while without finding oof. It'll be a long while before they find Speed Booster, because they will certainly at this point potentially full clear wreck ship, and that's an issue. At least not in their respective race sense. We could keep an eye on it as it progresses, but it could very well be an issue moving forward in the grand scheme of things here. So, chat, how are we doing today? Hope everyone's having a great evening or early morning, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you so much for being here. Big shout outs to Redemption for restreaming this massive 6-way. It's been an absolute blast. Seeing where these items fall, it's been pretty cool. I'm J-Chalk. Both Red and myself actually are admins here at SRA. This is the second round of the Super Metroid Randomizer Accessible Tournament, Swiss Round 2. And round 3, of course, every week starts a new round. There'll be 7 rounds, 7 weeks. And what's going to be super cool, chat, is as we see a really nice microwave kill on Fantoon. Ya, Yi, D, dead. Meanwhile, Desmous, look at the difference in loadout, fam. We got full microwave beam potential top left for Fantoon. And looks like we're going to go with potentially like maybe an X Factor strat. It's more of an 80% old route strat. Very versatile for a 2-round potential, whereas Hero went for the 1-round potential with the X-Ray, while 64-bit Link is also doing an X-Ray. We also got 3 Fantoons at the exact same time. All the Fantoons just came out of nowhere. Raikou also has that standard wave charge possibility. Again, that's a very standard old route strat. We can get a nice, beautiful 2-round with that bad boy, but looks like they're just going to go for some Dopplers. Oof. Gets got on the Fantoon dodge. Unfortunate. Desmous is definitely a round away from taking out Fantoon. There it is. And that is it for Desmous' side. We also got a red last round looking Fantoon on Yuzuriha's side. Raikou has about a round or 2 left here. Still kind of grayish. Yeah, still got a little bit to go here. Meanwhile, Erumnus making their way back down. They've cleared Kraid, they've cleared Fantoon, they've full cleared Wreck Ship. They haven't touched any of Lower Norfair, and they haven't been to Dragon because they can't, right? They don't have speed, they don't have ice. So this is the best seed for runners like Hero and I and other Crystal Flash Clippers, because where ice is and where speed is, are you kidding me? It's like a Crystal Flash Clipper's dream. All these power bombs that we're dropping. Also, the fact that you were given bombs, fam. Are you kidding? This is great. This is a good seed for Crystal Flash Clippers alike. Meanwhile, Hero is making the way down to Turian. So this is it. Hero is on their way. We'll be finishing this up. Well, without speed, could potentially see about an hour 1, maybe hour 1:30-ish finish, depending on Hero's movement through Turian here. But a very solid finish nonetheless. Anything around hour, sub-hours with seeds like this is definitely respectable. The route Hero took, are you kidding me? Hero did all of Croc, full cleared Bubble Mountain, checked most of Lower Norfair, and is still going to be finishing around an hour? Yes? I'll accept that any day of the week. Meanwhile, Erumnus is going to be making the play that we've all seen 5 other times, I believe. So we know what's here, know what to expect. Hero's going to be performing this super cool grouping strat, utilizing Space Jump there. Unfortunately, you can't finish it off with Ice Beam. Typically, runners would group those, land, morph, bomb, and then run over the bomb with the Metroids attached, and then it breaks them off of you, and then you can freeze them and kill them in one shot. It's for speed purposes, it makes Metroid Room 1 significantly faster than it would normally with the standard power bomb group. Look at this between Yuzuriha and Raikou. Is this just not what we live for? Oh, Yuzuriha electing to... No, excuse... Oh, no, they're going to save first. Save... No, wait. Yeah, they're both saves coming. So, oh, there's so much going on the bottom here. I think Desmous was the first to check that E-Tank location. But this bottom race right here, fam, it looks a lot closer than it is. Desmous has defeated Ridley. Not to take away from the hype. I'm not the one to take away from hypes. But Raikou and Yuzuriha, on the other hand, this is indeed a pretty close race. But it was just really cool to see that bottom row all on the save station at the exact same time. That was super cool. And we're going to get, looks like we're going to get 2 full clears. Ooh, is this a... Okay. Raikou is going to be checking the E-Tank location. Just a super pack, as we know. There's that save scum reset. Yuzuriha is going to be doing the same thing here in about 5 seconds. 4, 3. Oh, fell down. Yagi. Boom. Chicka-licka-lacka. And there's a super, and there's the reset. Yeet. And, okay, so now here's a question. Does Raikou continue up? Does Yuzuriha continue up? Charge beam for Aruminous, and we've got a baby on Hero's side and a fan tune on Link's side. I believe this is the final fan tune to be had. So really, really good race for Link. So Desmous is looking for ice or speed. They will not find ice. In fact, none of our runners, potentially Raikou, Yuzuriha, and Aruminous, but it's unlikely. Desmous will for sure not find ice. Like, a lot would have to go wrong for Desmous to go back and find ice. However, it's possible that they might run into speed because it's the only thing. It's their only option if they can't crystal flash clip, right? So Desmous is looking for one of those items because it's clear that they can't crystal flash clip, or they would have remained in Meridia and attempted it. So unfortunately, they cannot. So this is interesting because if Aruminous checks that left sandpit, fam, and checks speed booster and gets speed booster and is able to just go mode the rest of the seed while Desmous is still kind of looking around for... I still think Desmous is in a very good position because, again, from a routing perspective, Aruminous having to go all the way down, kill Ridley, and then all the way up is going to be in favor for Desmous. We move into a Mother Brain 2 on Hero's side. Now, he's got charge. He's got all the ammo he needs. He's just going to open up with some supers here for some DPS because, again, it is quicker. And now we're going to finish off with charge, plasma, and wave. All right, Aruminous. Oh, if he checks left first, this could be huge. Checking right. So again, a speed booster is that left side sandpit. There's a power bomb there for Yuzuriha. Meanwhile, 64-bit Link is going to be heading to Turian as well. Again, this is a really, really, really good race for Link here. I think Link's going to be very proud of this finish. Not going to take the refill though. Pretty much, I mean, they're full beam comboed, great health, and then they have a million missiles. So it's not really useful in any way to take that refill. So big ups to them. And there's that grapple beam fine for Desmous. Raikou, meanwhile, going bowling. Yuzuriha, meanwhile, in the bowling room. So again, these 3 runners down below. Such an exciting race here. And Aruminous is kind of straight vibing right now. I mean, chat, just straight vibing. Gonna see a left side sandpit check here. Get that speed booster. Boy is gonna be able to complete this seed. That's exciting. And Hero is going to be moving into Mother Brain 3. Link in the hallway, going to be moving to the Turian. Aruminous about to be very, 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 very happy in about 3.7 seconds. So looking forward to that as Raikou grabs that grapple beam. Yuzuriha is going to be heading down and finding their grapple beam. And now it's just a matter of what our bottom runners elect to do. All 3 of these runners are looking for ice or speed, because I think I can go out on a limb and say none of these runners can do a crystal flash clip, and there it is. Speed booster poor Arumnus and Hero about to enter Mother Brain 3 and finna yeet themselves off this planet at a really, really good time, not having speed, having to pick up all this ammo, full clearing Croc, full clearing Bubble Mountain, full clearing basically all of Lower Norfair, fam, outside of course, the GT location, which could have been very helpful, but 64-bit Link, the only one to make that call. There's that plasma pickup for Desmous, so that's going to be pretty big. If they, yeah, so this Arumnus Desmous race can get interesting. Again, Desmous does have a lead here, but it looks like Arumnus is actually going to elect to go up to Dragon first. From a routing perspective, it's slightly faster to just go straight down, especially from a pit, go straight down Lower Norfair and then up Dragon and then yeet yourself out. But it's okay. Whatever runners are comfortable with. And Hero is making that escape. Looks like they are going to meet that sub-hour time again. What an absolute G. What a baller time. Are you kidding me? Like, there are a lot of runners in this tournament who would just be like blown away if they full cleared Croc, Bubble Mountain, 90% of Lower Norfair and still got a sub-hour time. Like, what? Big props to Hero for this race. They played it very well. 64-bit Link also going to be finishing at a very good time. And Desmous doing some blue criteria clears. Yuzuriha doing some top of red tower clears. Raikou also going to be doing some blue brain clear. And Arumnus making that Dragon play. Again, this Arumnus Desmous race can get very, very spicy, y'all. All right, so there it is with an official SRL time of, let me wait until they actually get in the ship. There it is with an official SRL time. 59 minutes and 37 seconds. Hero 82 has finished in first place overall, fam, and knocks RaikouRider into the 1-1 bracket. Hero will be moving on 2-0. Yes, okay. So let's get Hero up in here for some interviews because I'm very interested to talk to them about that race. But again, we've got a lot still happening, chat. A lot still happening. I am so interested in this right race over here. Because again, oh my goodness, the Desmous only needs Dragon. And they only need to check that left sandpit for speed booster. I think Desmous has this. I really do. Just from a routing perspective, how far Arumnus has to go just to get down to Lower Norfair and then back up. It's a long trek. And Desmous is quickly running out of options. Now, here's the thing. This would be really cool. Chat, I want this so bad. There needs to be a seed where Speed Booster and Ice Beam are at GT. It needs to happen because that would be the that would be the absolute dream of a Crystal Flash Clipper. But that would be so evil indeed for anyone who could not do Crystal Flash Clip because, whew, snap, that would be rough. All right, Link finishes off Mother Brain 2. Gonna be waiting through the cutscene here as Arumnus takes on Dragon. Yuzuriha making their way through Hellway. Raikou continuing on the clear off of Peak Brinstar here. Desmous. You can just feel that speed booster literally calling their name. They are beelining it to that check. Oof. Having a little bit of an issue here with the a little grapple pull here. There are a couple ways you can do this. So actually, if Desmous were to come out of a grapple like that, and then Raikou finds high jump boots, but has officially forfeited from the race. Oh, I just realized Hero's here. I'm so sorry. I don't know how long you've been here. Hello.
I'm here long enough to hear you say the word speed booster.
Oh my gosh, Hero. So this was, oh man. Okay, so first and foremost, Ice was at GT Missiles.
Okay, well, I was never gonna get that.
Exactly. I was telling Chat, I was like, Chat, there is no way Hero is going to find Ice Beam. And when you found those bombs, I called it straight away. Hero is not finding Speed Booster either, because Speed Booster was left Sandpit. And from a routing perspective, once you take out Dragon, because I knew you were going to Crystal Flash Clip, once you take out Dragon, there's no reason for you to waste time going down through a sandpit to go back up to wreck ship. Just from a purely routing perspective to make a chance. Maybe you could have done it, and it would have been a good play, but maybe not. I mean, I don't know, it might have been a wash, but yeah, good GG though, Hero. 64-bit Link is actually the only one of the runners to find Ice at GT,
Nice.
he's actually going to be finishing here pretty soon as well, so not having to pick up a lot of ammo and also having that Ice Beam and charge was super nice, at least for Link.
Yeah, that would have been the seed. The seed sort of like pulled you in this direction where it's like, oh, it's jet seed. You gotta go fast. You gotta go fast. And then everything was like everything that you needed to finish the seed was backloaded.
Exactly.
So
this seed started off like here's Varia, here's Wave, here's Screw Attack, here's High Jump Boots, here's all these items, and you're just like, okay, you're flying into Lower Norfair at like 25-30 minutes sub even, and then once you start to come out, you're starting to realize, hey, I don't have any way of getting through to Dragon. I don't have ice. I don't have speed. How comfortable are you with Suitless Crystal Flash?
I practiced it for literally 5 minutes today and did not get it one time. And I was
that's
like,
exactly
wow.
that's exactly what I was thinking. I'd be in your situation too. I've practiced Suitless Crystal Flash clip numerous times, and something that maybe I can get once in a practice session, but it's not something I would be comfortable with in a race going on. So I just knew that it was jet, and then all of a sudden, hey, backloaded as heck right now.
Yeah, I was like, please progression. I need speed. I need ice. I need bombs. And actually, bombs were so far in the back of my mind as progression.
Yes.
But I knew that bombs could be anywhere, absolutely anywhere. And that's the problem with bombs, is that there's no logical place for them to be. Right?
Yep.
Bombs can't be really locked by anything. Like, they can essentially be anywhere. There's probably a couple places maybe that they can't be logically. I'm not 100% sure on that. But
depending on how the seed shapes out, for sure. But just like when you're actually thinking about how the logic places items.
Right, like if bombs are a can fly item and all the other can fly items are in can fly places,
exactly,
then bombs can't be placed there.
Right.
But generally speaking, bombs can be about anywhere, but but ice can't be speed locked if speed is also speed locked. No, speed can't be speed locked because it's SMRAT.
Right. Yeah. So I just want to quickly say we're joined by RaikouRider and 64-bit Link. We'll get to Raikou first. Hello, GG. I like the call of all of the skipping, right? You got to do something to kind of maybe get the edge against a much better mechanical runner. And unfortunate, as Hero and I were just discussing it, how, at least in regards to the gate poor Dragon was so locked. Like Ice Beam was at GT Missiles, and no one was gonna find that unless you actively were making that play, because the likelihood of anything being at GT is so low just from the nature of SMRAT. But when you are down charge, down ice, or down speed even, that's generally an okay time to check that. But GG to Link, you still are the only person to get that Ice Beam, by the way, and welcome, both of you.
I clearly need to work on my high jump with lava dive.
With gravity, yeah?
I have to manage my ammo.
Or just the high jump plus gravity jump. It's pretty hard.
That's what I thought.
It's pretty hard.
Yeah, for sure.
It is. It's got a tighter window than you think it does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like to, a lot of runners. What I notice in the last race and in this race is that
Oh, that's bad.
a lot of the time,
Oh,
the
no.
lava dive, the high jumpless gravity jump, is that you jump just slightly too soon, and that's when you either bomb or don't quite make it all the way. You really want to delay that jump as much as possible and as far on the edge as possible. That way you can really loop yourself around. Yeah, otherwise, I just found your high jump moves there unfortunate. That would definitely help a lot.
That was the last thing I was looking for. When I saw it, I just did a complete rinse.
Yeah, and that was a good call. If Ice Beam or Charge Beam were there, that could have been because every runner was just having no charge, no ice, no speed, nothing.
I picked up all kinds of ammo.
You did too.
I was mostly just trying to, at that point, find lower Norfair logic, and the only way I felt I was going to win is if I committed to the Bryn skip. And when I found that speed booster in left sandpit, I thought that was jackpot.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. This Arumnus Desmous race has been kind of interesting because Desmous has been looking for a way through to Dragon for quite a while now. And there was just absolutely nothing in Red Ship, period. And almost all of the runners in Red Ship, there's just not a lot going on there. Arumnus is making their way to Ridley now, but kind of as I was mentioning before to Chad, is that just from a purely map, where they are on the map, it was just Desmous has the upper hand here, regardless of what he checks, because he's already done that push, and that alone takes a significant amount of time in comparison to just doing Dragon. But Desmous is now finished and is going to be able to make their way to Turian, and still before Ridley, so it's looking like Desmous is going to be taking this one, if all goes well, of course. Go for it.
So I have a question. Why is it that whenever we're just in the same race, whether it be we're on commentary together or one of us is racing and one of us is playing, I just don't understand. Jay, can you tell the rando bot to calm down when we're together, please?
What do you mean?
It seems like every single time we do something together, the rando bot just doesn't want to calm down. Remember when we demoed SMRAT for the last marathon?
I think so.
That was the ice at plasma seed that wound up being required.
Yes.
I don't understand how when we just meet up, we keep getting seeds like this. This one was something else.
I will tell you though, and I'm sure Hero will agree to this. This is a Crystal Flash Clipper's dream. Like, at least from strictly where ice was located, and just from how deep you had to go to get the speed booster if you really wanted to make that. Like, by the time you got to making a pit play, you had potentially already cleared all of Meridia, and especially having already both suits, potentially you had already been pushed down to Lower Norfair, maybe cleared some Bubble Mountain. By the time you find that speed booster, Hero and I are already Crystal Flashed Dragon. And so this is like a Crystal Flash Clipper's dream, like, especially finding those bombs. Like, that was just like the cream of the crop. So I was very happy to find those bombs, and I know, Hero, like, what were you thinking when you found those bombs here? Because I know what you were thinking, but like, you tell us what you were thinking.
Well, so I practiced Crystal Flash clipping a little bit before the race, and I'm not by any means good at it, as you can tell, because I was.
Oh no!
So, I was
the first Crystal Flash. Oh man.
Dude, I was so hyped. I was like, yes, dude, I got it. Within whatever, like
6 attempts, I think.
Six power bombs.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, so hyped. I was like, yeah, and then I forgot to hold down.
Yup. I called it. No, it's funny because I was telling Chat, I know exactly what happened here. There was a race I was in. You get Crystal Flash clip, in a race period, it's just a hype moment. And so like you're like, yes, 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 and then you just fall through and you're like, no, I forgot to hold down.
And
I got
my
two
mind-
first.
Oh, go ahead.
I got 2 first try green gate glitches, so that was probably the best I did.
Nice. Yeah, that was good. I saw those when you were coming through Meridia, if I'm one of them at least.
Meridia, and when I went down to Crocomire because
Right,
I couldn't logically get to the Croc item, but I wanted to check as much stuff as I could while I was down there, and I got first try green gate glitch on both of them.
Right. Okay,
I
so
think
let me
Green
interject real
Glitch-
quick.
Oh, it's good.
I just want to give 64-bit Link, hello there. Congratulations on your win versus Yuzuriha, and also taking second place overall. Not too far behind Hero, which is very respectable. Tell us a little bit about how you got the seed win.
I don't know, like early I think I wasted some time with a few things. If this seed, the old mother brain had nothing, or nothing useful. And then I was like, when I went up Red Tower, I was initially just like, I'm just gonna check these items and then go back down. But then when I saw the E-tanks, like, I was just like, I got a little ahead of myself thinking, okay, well, more E-tanks maybe means wrecked ship. And then as I was on the elevator, I realized, but wait a second, I don't actually have logical wrecked ship access. And so then I'm like, okay, well, just to make up for some of this time, I'll just go check front of Gauntlet. And I want to say that might have been an E-tank or something, and I took it at the time because I'm like, I have the magic high jump and Varia combo. Maybe I'll just like go clear lower Norfair while I'm down there. And then of course gravity just happened to be like right on the way. So at that point I was basically set, and then like when I went down there I was like, okay, I was like thinking about whether I go the normal way or go do the green gate glitch to backdoor GT. And the reason I decided to green gate glitch was I was thinking, well, that will give me that will let me peek what the item is at screw attack. Right. And so I'll be able to check all 3 items and then reset. And then of course, it's the GT missile item that's the item I want. So I'm like, at that point, I'm just like, okay, I just reset and just go the normal way. And then for some reason, I couldn't find the magic pixel for GT and took like 3/4 of my health and damage that I shouldn't have taken.
Right.
So that was kind of a scary moment, but I got through it, and then I was basically in ammo mode, and I was just like, okay, I'll just try to check things that are on path for ammo, and then I just happened upon charge, and that was it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were all pretty concerned, because no speed booster, no charge beam, no ice beam until super late. Everyone was having to just pick up these mass loads of ammo. But yeah, it works out. Oh, and it looks like I stand corrected. Well, I expected that maybe perhaps Yuzuriha or Arumnus, especially Yuzuriha as a pro runner, potentially might need to be making these checks in order to find items that they legitimately need to complete a seed. Looks like they will be the second runner to find the item. So very good for them. So correct me if I'm wrong, 64-bit Link should be moving on 1 and 1, is that correct?
Yeah.
Super. And how do you feel about that? The 1-1 bracket is stacked. Not sure if you've taken a look.
Yeah, I guess I'd have to take a look at who's in there, but yeah, I mean, it's like I knew like from this, like I am massively de-rusting this game, so like there's a lot of things that are just like I'm sure with time I'll get closer to the level that I was like at this time last year, but like so I think like I'm at a little bit of a mechanical disadvantage. In terms of just like really not having played the game in like 4 or 5 months.
Right. And Hero, you'll be moving on to.
this is the part where challenge actually starts to
Do a really good
starts
job.
to, it starts to make sense because people actually, I think they use what's called something called codes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like on the first week, everyone is either 1-0 or 1, and challenge can't do anything because your opponents that you faced, they never faced anyone else other than you.
Right.
So they don't know how to match anybody in that next week. But now like people that I raced have faced other people. So now challenge can assess, okay, the 2 people that I've raced, the people that they raced against have records of this. So it can start to assign scores to those people and say, oh, the people that you raced were actually really good, so your score is higher. So that's how it works.
Oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I'm really appreciating your information from chat on how challenge works, because it's a very, very interesting process. But Yuzuriha takes a dip at Mickey Mouse there. That's a time loss, at least for them personally. It looks like they're going to continue pushing for the seat, which is awesome. Big shout outs to them. And Desmous, meanwhile, in Mother Brain 3's on the finish. There's about 2 minutes or so. And Arumnas also making their way into. I mean, this was a really close race between Arumnas and Desmous. I mean, if Arumnas just would have maybe gone down into Lower Norfair first from a routing perspective, they could be at Mother Brain at the same time right now, I would predict. Just from strict routing, having to go down and then way down and up. Routing wise, it could have been much closer. Yes, so challenge is going to be able to. It's going to be able to make some matchups in week 3. So speaking of week 3, Raikou, you'll be moving on as 1-1 again. Perhaps you and Link could face each other, which could be interesting. But I think the 1-1 bracket right now has got some really good runners. And of course, the 2-0 bracket is, of course, just stacked. It doesn't matter who you face. But that 1-1 bracket is filled with runners that are just really good. So I'm interested to see how those match up. But Raikou, how are you feeling? Anyone you particularly would be interested in facing, or maybe not facing? What do you think? Oh, Raikou is not even in the chat. Talking to myself. Sorry.
Jay's not even looking up and who's in the chat.
Okay, let me just I'll redirect that question to here. I'm honestly curious. Who would you like? Who would you like to face?
I'd have to look and see who's 2-0. I would like to face somebody who's not very good.
I'm curious.
I don't care.
Like, if we had to rank the 2-0s, I'm curious who would be the weakest or the strongest of the bunch.
I'm the weakest, for sure.
I mean,
I
purely.
have to be the worst randomizer player in the 2-0 bracket, for sure.
I don't know.
Maybe not mechanically, but as in terms
certainly
of
you were definitely one of the best mechanically. That's for sure.
But in terms of like randomizers, like
Yeah, see, that's the thing about being a really good mechanical runner is at the moment you get matched up with someone who is really good at either rando tech specifically or has just been around the block with rando and especially knows logic very well. It's just it's kind of unfortunate. Like when you get matched up with super good like I've beaten, like for example, Mr. Guy Average. He could run circles around you and I for both any percent, really any category. But I've beaten him twice in a row in random.
well, hold on. I would race GA any day in low percent.
Okay, fair enough. Low percent is your baby. That's fair.
But yeah, he would wipe the floor with me in any percent, hundo, map.
Yup.
any
That's kind
of
of-
those.
That's just kind of the point I'm trying to make. Is it's just randomizer is just such a great equalizer for a lot of that. You know, I love logic, and I love reading it, and I love just like, I don't know, I get so hyped when I make a call from purely a logical perspective, not just on a whim, and it works out. Like those are like the hog plays for me, that when I do something like that, being able to pull out wins. I don't know, Hero, if you've watched the RK race between myself and RK.
I haven't, but I saw the times.
My goodness, it
I
was
saw the times, and I saw how close you guys were with me.
it just was nutty. It just didn't make sense. It legitimately didn't make sense. It's like you just mirrored our screen. It just didn't make sense. I've watched it back like 6 times because it never made sense, and it was so unfortunate that RK went for the suitless Crystal Flash clip, and I ended up finding Ice Beam, and then Arumnus, meanwhile, going to be moving into Mother Brain 2, and Yuzuriha will be finishing off, I believe. No, actually, no, they still have Dragon because they haven't found that. Well, no, yeah, they just found Ice Beam. Did you get Dragon? I don't think so. I think they just found the Ice Beam, and will then be moving into Meridia, the speed booster yet. So I don't
Speaking more to that randomizer being an equalizer, I think this was the first time that I've beaten Link in an SMRAT race.
Really?
Is that true, Link?
I mean, I know I've managed to beat you a lot, but like, I don't know. I feel like you've beaten me at least once or twice in like between this and Rando League Logic.
Rando League Logic, I feel like I have a little bit more. Rando League Logic, I feel like it caters a little bit more to the mechanical runner.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
SMRAT, like, unless you have a jet seed, the mechanical advantage is very limited.
For sure.
Yeah. What I find interesting though is like you and I both finished with the same item percentage. I mean,
That's actually really weird because we had wildly different routes.
Yeah, I was actually curious, Hero, I don't know what I was gonna say. It's been a long day. But what is it? Wednesday? Tomorrow's Thursday. We have. Let's talk about the schedule real quick for everyone out there. That's not the right schedule, but it will lead me to where I need to go. Let's see. We have a couple races tomorrow. Definitely not the absolute onslaught gauntlet that was today of 14 matches. Yeah, there were 14 matches today. It was insane. Tomorrow we have a lot of really good matches. We have starting off at 6 a.m. with Nebdi versus Noxious Nick. Now, those are some big time names, both from, they come from Randomizer League, they come from the GT Classic world, 100% world, 80% world. I mean, they're big time runners. We also have Lady Smile. I actually don't know how to pronounce that last part. I'm so sorry, Lady. And Ludacris at 8 a.m. At 4 p.m. we have Fate Firex and Putsku. 7 p.m. Toasty versus Kuru. That's a big one. I like that. And then at 8 p.m. we have Sloters 27 versus Raymond Turis. Gonna be an interesting one. Sloters is just in a league of his own. I'm very interested to see these like 4-0, 5-0, 6-0 matches. Like,
There are so many
when we
items.
get to that week when it's like the 5-0 matchups and the 6-0 matchups. Oh, it's gonna be nutty. We also and then to end us off we have quite possibly one of the most exciting races of this week, which is Tillimore versus Zero Lane, which is a rematch of the semifinals of last year on the mouse bracket. So I believe it was the semi-final. Either way, it's top 4 from mouse last year facing off against each other at 11 p.m. So whew. Lots of action still to come. Meanwhile, Yuzuriha heading out of Lower Norfair. And we're joined. Wait, what? Oh, Desmous is in a practice. I was like, wait, I thought Desmous was already finished. Desmous, hello, and we're also joined by Arumnus, who died Oh gosh, I've missed it as I was looking at the schedule. Did you die at Mother Brain, I'm assuming?
I did.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. I got hit too much, got below 4 E-tanks. I was screwed.
Sorry to hear that. Well, GG to both of you. Desmous, congrats on 3rd place with an hour and 20. This was a pretty doozy of a seed from at least the back end of it, as you know we've been discussing the placements of ice and speed, kind of the gatekeeper to the seed. Desmous, can't remember. You didn't find ice, is that right?
Yeah, I saw at the end that where it
Yeah.
was, but I didn't find it at all.
There was ice in this seed?
Yeah, exactly.
64-bit Link was the first to find Ice Beam and had it for quite some time before the next runner found it. The next runner to find it was actually Yuzuriha 15 minutes ago as they made their descent into Lower Norfair. But it actually was pretty interesting. Yeah, just from that ice placement and that speed placement at that left sand pit, again, the likelihood of you finding that speed booster
Let's see. So there's
early
3.
on was mute. Like you had all the suits, so the likelihood of you going down to
2,
Lower Norfair, Bull Mountain, or Croc first was
3,
significantly higher, at least from a routing perspective. And so you were going to be pushing that speed find and not finding the ice beam. So unless you could crystal flash clip, which I'm not sure Desmous, Arumnus, or Raikou could do. Desmous and Arumnus, you can correct me on that, but are you crystal flash clippers?
No, I've never learned it.
I didn't think so, and so I didn't want to like offend anyone and like maybe you're like the best crystal flash clipper, but I just assumed that just from what you were doing, from the moves you were making, the checks you were making rather, and the routing you were doing, that it was likely that you couldn't do the crystal flash clipper. And so for non-crystal flash clippers, this was not a good seed for you because you were really gated by that ice and that speed booster find. But Desmous, let's hear from you, our 3rd place finisher out of the 6.
Yeah, I just that was really rough. I almost full cleared Norfair, and then I full cleared pretty much everywhere before I even went to Meridia. I checked 3 things in Meridia, and then, you know, it's just horrible. It was,
For sure.
yeah.
I was actually, you know, at the end, it was actually really close between you and Arumnus. Like,
Was it really?
yeah.
Don't tell me it's that
Like,
shot too.
Here's the thing. I feel from strictly a routing perspective, if Arumnus would have gone down into Lower Norfair first, like you did, Desmous, I think you both would have been at Mother Brain at the exact same time.
Oh,
Wait, no.
I really truly do. Arumnus went down into Bubble Mountain in Croc and then went up into Meridian. So just strictly from that extra up and then back down, that was the difference. So it could have been really close. And of course, Arumnus had anyways, I lost my train of thought. It's been a long day. Yeah, it would have been closer. I mean, it still was pretty close. I mean, you were at Mother Brain. I mean, you died at Mother Brain about when Desmous was finishing. So I mean,
5 minutes after.
yeah.
Wait.
So,
Yeah,
So-
that's probably-
were you at Mother Brain, died, and then I finished, or did I finish and then you died at Mother Brain?
Yeah, you finished, and then like a minute or 2 later, I got to Mother Brain.
Oh, I was like, if that decided the race, that's
That
horrible.
would've
But
yeah.
That
Yeah,
would've
it
been
was
cool,
definitely down
but-
to just the decision to skip out on going down early into Lower Norfair like you did. Just from, like I said, it's a strict routing perspective. All the additional door
Yeah,
transitions to go
the-
back down and then back up. It really, you know, it adds up.
I-
For me, that was just a comfort thing.
For sure,
Like,
for sure,
I,
for sure.
I didn't want to do weirdly.
for sure. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Definitely better to do what you're comfortable with. And that, there's nothing wrong with that. But now we can talk to you guys. Desmous, was this an 0-1 matchup?
yeah, I
So you're
lost.
gonna be-
I actually lost the
charge.
hero last week. So
Oh, right, of course. So you'll be moving on 1-1. What are your thoughts?
honestly, I'm just really excited to play in the game.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to be in SMRAT last year, right? So because I had to drop out.
Okay, because
because
there were
issues.
so many
Right.
items.
Going back to college, so I'll have plenty of internet there to, You know,
Poggers.
hopefully get to the finals. I don't know if that'll happen, but hey, I'm excited for it.
I believe in you. But you'll have to get through the gauntlet. That is the 1-1 bracket. I mean, take a look at that sometime. It is. I mean, it's going to be a lot of really good matchups next week because that 1-1 bracket is just disgusting. Meanwhile, Arumnus, going on 0-2. How are you feeling about
Gosh,
your
damn it.
upcoming matchups?
Darn it!
I mean, there should be some really, really good matchups in 0-2 as well, just from strictly a skill-based perspective.
Honestly, I'm not really sure, but you know, I'm just excited to see what happens and see how I grow in my technical stuff, rounding, especially rounding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that just comes with time, for sure. If I have any advice for you, it's just to play scenes, play more as much as you can, because every time you go through a room in Rando, you're there with something different. Being able to think 2 steps ahead about how you're going to progress through a room with the quickest possible I guess route you could think of. Like, okay, I don't have high jump boots, so I know I need to jump this way and this high to make sure I land correctly here, or I have this and this and this. So like every time you go through a room, it's different. So ensuring that you have a bunch of, you know, movement tech up your sleeve to be able to progress as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
How many people picked up Spring Ball, by the way?
Did anyone?
That's a
Actually,
great
there's one.
question. Where was Spring Ball?
In Mickey Mouse.
2,
Right.
3,
Well,
4.
Yuzuriha, oh no, Yuzuriha would have probably picked it up, but they fell.
Oh.
Yeah, just before. It was either when they were on their way in or on their way out. Either way, they either picked it up and fell, or almost got to it and fell. Either way, they fell. So
I feel like that spring ball location is just the game taunting you, because it's like, here's the item that helps you get in and out of there safely.
so true. So true.
It's actually really interesting that
Radio looking for speed booster. As soon as I saw speed booster, I knew I was done.
Yeah.
I interrupted.
that's okay. I was just thinking it's actually interesting because my routing, like, you know, pretty jet routing into Norfair, lower Norfair, but there were 4 items that I didn't check, and one of those items was a go mode item, as it turned out, which is fine. It turned out fine for me, but literally there are 3 go mode items if you can crystal flash clip, and all 3 of those items could have been in lower Norfair.
For sure.
It could have been ice bombs, and I mean the likelihood of that is statistically like almost impossible. Could have been ice, speed, and bombs at Mickey Mouse, which I didn't check, which is a huge oversight on my part, and I got super lucky.
How's that?
And then ice and speed could have been. Is there any reason that ice or speed couldn't be behind GT? I don't think so.
Nope.
So, man, I kind of lucked out there.
Well, unless Space Jump was at Climb Supers, then
Right.
that would then block ice from being behind GT, because Space Jump is required for GT. But other than that, no, I don't think.
Wait, is the Brinstar first mock ball, is that in logic without
No.
speed?
That first Brinstar where you go to get early supers, that is always speed booster required.
Yeah, so
Which is
somewhat
really
okay.
cool, because it kind of is the opening setup in my mind. That first big sequence break that you do, that whatever you find back there can really tell a lot about the seed. Like if you find gravity there, you know you can't find speed booster anywhere in Meridia. That's huge. That's really big information, right? Or you find Varia, you know straight away speed booster is going to be nowhere in heated rooms. That's big time. That's a lot of information that you can take and move forward with in the seed, making
Speed boost.
guesses on where items can and can't be, and thus opening your, or well, rather decreasing your checks, increasing item density of where items will be instead of where they might be. And so that's just something you just got to constantly think about. And we're joined by Yuzuriha. Hello there, how are you?
Where the heck was Speed Booster?
It was a speed booster.
Wasn't it a shock tool?
Speed booster was left side sandpit.
Okay, that's where I was figured, but I didn't want to waste any more of everyone's time.
No, that's completely fine. You are completely fair to spend your time completing this seed. We were just vibing, having a chat.
I was like, where the heck is Speed Booster? And I was down to Shock Tool and those 10 pits, but then it's like, it's already been almost 2 hours, so it's just,
Right.
and I believe everyone else has already finished or forfeited.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, do I really want to keep going?
Right. I do have a question for you.
Mhm.
So you are newer to Super Metroid, I assume. Is this correct?
Relatively. I mean, I first played it when I was a kid, but speed running, that's something I'm relatively, and
Cool.
randomizers I'm relatively new to.
Super. So then I guess I have a question. Was there any like personal accomplishments or any cool things that, a lot of the times, big time runners or people who have been doing this for a really long time or watching this for a really long time don't understand that sometimes a mock ball might have been like your first mock ball ever, and so sometimes I like to talk to newer runners because like if you got a mock ball into, every runner remembers their first mock ball into early supers and how awesome that felt, and so I like to just highlight that there are runners that there is a runner in this tournament currently that cannot do that trick. So I know next time when I see their race and if they land that, that's a huge moment. So I'm just curious if you had any moments like that in the race.
In the race so far, nothing that really comes to mind now.
Cool. Well, is there anything that you're hoping to learn before next week?
I mean, I probably need to learn that ice clip or something just because that speed was a bit trolly.
So you were working on that just before you forfeited and you weren't able to get that. Is that correct?
That was a Hail Mary, to be honest.
Have you ever landed it before?
I never even tried it before. That was my first time trying it.
See what I'm saying? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone okay, Arumnus, have you done ice clip before?
Not once ever.
Oh, well then fantastic. So 64-bit Link definitely, Hero definitely, Desmous definitely, and of course myself definitely. It's something you don't even really think about, guys. But like we have two people in this chat currently who have never done it, and Yuzuriha tried it for the first time in a race. That's just so cool. That's why SMRAT, just from that alone, is so awesome. That's why I enjoy SMRAT so much, is that we get all these newer runners who have never done any of these tricks before, and that could have been a cool moment. So definitely, I recommend definitely practicing that. It's actually not too bad once you get it down. You too, Arumnus, get that trick down, because having to search for speed, as you have found out, can be exceptionally, could throw you around for a loop.
I mean, I think probably one of my biggest problems I had was that since partly because we found two suits really early on, I quickly lost track of what the logic was.
Yeah, that can be an issue as well, for sure.
So I was like, I can't remember. So I because of that, I could not think. I mean, initially I thought maybe it down in Norfair, but then of course that turned out to be a bus, and I'm just like, so so I couldn't. So I completely lost track of the logic and where it could end up, narrow down the possibilities.
For sure. And the logic can get really muddy when you have two early suits like that. What does it want you to do? Where does it want you to go? What is pushing where? Unfortunately, if you guys do choose to watch this back, just a warning, first 15, 20 minutes, my mic was just saying yeet to me, just did not want to work with me. So I missed a little bit of the early goings of the race. So it was kind of hard for me to kind of deconstruct the logic myself from a strictly I came in kind of late perspective. But certainly straight away when you find both suits like that, it's tough to really make a decision because there's so many things you have still yet you still need. Like if you find both suits, you don't have charge, you don't have ice, you don't have speed, you don't have movement items, you don't have this or that. It's hard to understand what should I do? What are the runners going? What is my opponent going to do? Is he going to just go mode everything and hope to find it on his way? Is he going to check this? He's going to rush this. I mean, that's one of like the hardest, at least from my perspective, from a jet speed perspective. It's one of the hardest jet seed rather. It's one of the hardest mindsets for me to get in when I'm racing jet seed like that. Is what is my opponent going to do? Are they going to assume I'm going to? Because I personally like to go mode the moment I get both suits and a couple E-tanks and some ammo. Because if I find what I need on the way, like, are you kidding me? That's PogChamp. But if I don't and my opponent is checking stuff, it's just it's a rough decision to make, honestly. But anyways, Link, Arumnus, Desmous, Hero, Yuzuriha. Also big shout outs to RaikouRider for doing this 6-way here. Thank you so much to Red for restreaming. Thank you to you guys out there in chat for hanging out. Let's end it off there. Would anyone like to say something before we kick it over?
Yeah, I want to make one last comment.
Go for it.
One of the things I want to see in one of my SMRAT seeds is definitely a seed without Varia, actually, because I love the challenge of doing Ridley when you're not supposed to. I'm really into RBO stuff, so
I
I mean,
it's interesting you bring that up because SMRAT 1 we had, I want to say, 6 suitless lower Norfair seeds. Sloters did a couple, Andrew did a couple, Aster did a couple. Yeah, SMRAT 1 was pretty big for suitless lower Norfair.
I mean, I guess
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I guess talking about suitless Meridia, which I feel like is a little more common than that, but because suitless Meridia is interesting because it kind of requires a bunch of items but there was a race in SMRAT 2 between me and June where it was really interesting because I found Varia but not Gravity. And Junie found Gravity but not Varia. And it wound up being a really interesting race where eventually I had the item set for suitless Meridia and decided to just go for it. And it just wound up being really interesting.
For sure. Definitely.
But yeah, I guess yeah.
We'll see if any others. I don't think we've had a. Actually, I'm pretty sure we haven't had a suitless lower north yet this tournament. We're only 2 weeks in.
I'm pretty sure the logic.
Sorry.
Gravity, and I believe the logic requires both suits for lower Norfair.
Yes, 100%. But there are runners who will do suitless lower Norfair. There are a very select, I'm talking maybe 1 or 2 or 3 in the world who would make that decision and actually come out on
earlier today or
Sorry?
Wasn't there a runner earlier today or yesterday that did Varia only?
Yeah, that's pretty typical. If you get Varia early, and you have, even high jump boots, I mean, I'll even go if I don't have anything. I mean, if I have just Varia and I'm down there, I'm gonna go lower Norfair. It's just something generally you just get comfortable with and you get used to as you continue to do more seeds and get better with, especially lower Norfair with the Disgigas and the Pirates and the all the things that can kill you very quickly. It is something you get used to, but strictly from a no Varia perspective, it is very rare and very difficult, even Suitless Meridia is difficult to do quickly and come out on top. There are very few runners who actually do Suitless Lower Norfair and Suitless Meridia and actually come out on top in the end. That's not to say that you shouldn't ever do it, but I'm just saying it's difficult if you just aren't Sloters or Andrew or Asger or any of the typical RBO players who can just go in there and not even. It's just it's pretty incredible. Last year there was a couple. I think there was more in SMRAT 1 and SMRAT 2 for sure. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. You all for hanging out. So let's go ahead and end it here. Yuzuriha, have a great day. And Desmous, have a great day. Ermus, have a great day. Link, have a great day. Don't forget to follow the runners, which were linked up above. Don't forget to follow Redemption for kicking some booty on the restream. And I hope everyone has a beautiful night, and we'll see you.
Have a good one, everyone.
We'll see you sometime. All right, there they go.